Senator, thank you for joining us.
Well, Neil, how are you doing?
I'm okay. Democrats blaming Republicans, Republicans blaming Democrats. You have urged that in the interim, at least, essential personnel be paid, right?
Yeah, I mean, it's only fair. Washington, D.C. is dysfunctional enough, and it is just true. We have essential personnel in these government agencies. We require them to work. The least we can do is pay them. And so I've introduced the Shutdown Fairness Act that would pay about 420,000 federal government workers that are deemed essential. They call them accepted, but I'll use the term essential. And as long as they're working and trying to keep this nation safe, they should be paid. It's a pretty simple concept. I already have 6 co-sponsors. Hopefully with this broadcast, we'll have a flood of co-sponsors, both Democrat and Republican. Hopefully Leader McConnell will bring it to the floor and the president will sign it. It's the least we can do.
Have you heard from the president, Senator, whether he supports this?
I haven't spoken to the president, but I've certainly given heads up to the White House in terms of what I'm trying to accomplish here. Maybe this will break the logjam.
All right. Your colleague, Lindsey Graham, had suggested there might be a good opportunity for 3 weeks to reopen the government. And then by that time, if nothing has really been made progress on, go ahead and declare emergency powers. The president so far reluctant to do that, dismissed the idea of a 3-week reopening. How do you feel about it?
Well, the problem is Nancy Pelosi already told the president, if you open up the government, I'm still not going to give you $1 for the border. And again, I'm highly concerned about using that national emergency power and authority, primarily because if he uses it, it'll be challenged in court and we won't get the wall built. And Neil, we do need better barriers. Walls work. They free up CBP agents to be redeployed at the ports of entry so we can try and capture some of the heroin coming to this country. We have to fix these laws. This is a growing problem. It's primarily a problem now of unaccompanied children from Central America and people coming to this country illegally in family units because we incentivize it. It's a growing problem. Just quick quotation of some numbers. In 2012, a little more than 11,000 people came into this country illegally and apprehended as a family unit. Last year, 107,000 people came as a family units. First 3 months of this year, 75,000 people. So Democrats who are minimizing this problem, saying it's not a crisis, it was a humanitarian crisis during the Obama administration in 2014 when 120,000 people came in as UACs and family units. Last year, 145,000 people came in. This is a growing Trump is right. We need the better barriers, and the easiest way out of this is for Democrats, stop being hypocrites. You've supported better barriers in the past. You say you want a secure border. Give the president the minimal amount, $5.7 billion out of a budget that's larger than $4,100 billion. It's not even a rounding error. That is the simplest solution, but doesn't sound like Nancy Pelosi's open to that.
But, I noticed there's far more common ground that either side lets on, Senator. For example, the same Democrats who are opposing this wall or whatever the president wants to call it were on board allowing President Obama to do 136 miles of just that when he was president. The same number of Republicans who were saying they want a wall now were open to alternatives to a wall back in prior administrations. So is it your sense that what changed the dynamics here was the president holding the government hostage to getting what he wanted, that had he not taken that leap, we wouldn't be here now?
No, it changed the dynamics. According to Democrats, the wrong person won in 2016. They just have never recognized President Trump as a legitimate president. They don't recognize the mandate he received.
But they did support him early on legislation that addressed this same thing. So do you think by holding or attaching it to the government, its continued function, Senator, in retrospect, it's easy to play Monday morning quarterback, trust me, but that might have been a signature wrong turn in this?
Well, first of all, President Trump has been very upfront, saying he would never support another omnibus that didn't include barrier funding. Right. And Congress presented him with spending bills that didn't include it. So I understand his frustration. But here's my frustration with Democrats who say they want a smart border. All the technology does, it allows you to track, apprehend, process, and then disperse. And that's what we're doing. We have catch and release. We're just dispersing people in the interior. If we don't detain people and they don't have an asylum claim adjudicated as valid, we order them removed. Only 7% of those individuals actually get removed. But we can't detain them anymore because of different laws and legal precedents. So we actually have to fix those laws, change those legal precedents if we actually want to solve this problem. Democrats have singularly been unwilling to solve this problem.
Do you get a sense, Senator, that this drags on quite a while? Now, so far the polls show that a lot of Americans, most are blaming it on Republicans, although to your point, that number has gone down a little bit. It's still tipping in favor of Republicans are getting the finger and not so much Democrats. That, again, could and likely will change the longer this drags on. But I've heard some raise the possibility it drags on for weeks, months. What do you think?
Well, both sides seem pretty dug in, which is one of the reasons I want to pay these individuals. That'll take some of the pressure off Republicans. Plus, the other thing, I've talked to the chairman of the subcommittees on the appropriation bills that are outstanding, asking them to take a look, and I'd love to hear what a bare bones budget would look like. You know, some kind of partial measure here that'll keep pressure on the Democrats, because, again, what's really odd about this debate is I've never heard a Democrat not want to spend money in the federal government. They just won't spend $5.7 billion because of this is President Trump's priority. But if we open up, if we pay these people, if we fund the essential parts of government, that will take the monkey off Republicans' back and put a little pressure on Democrats. Maybe they'll come to the negotiating table in good faith.
Do you have any Democrats interested in this, Senator, beyond the Republicans you mentioned?
Well, again, we just completed the legislation, right. The language over the weekend. We're introducing it. We just introduced it today. Hopefully, when they hear about a very common sense approach, a fair approach to paying these individuals, we should have every Democrat voting for this. This should be This should pass as easily as a measure that we passed last week that said when the government shutdown ends, we'll pay everybody. Why don't we pay them while they're working?
Senator Johnson, thank you very much. Good catching up with you.
Have a good day.
Well.